Warning, this podcast may be disturbing to some listeners. Due to the graphic nature, listener discretion is advised. Welcome from wherever you are. This is the Demon Inside Podcast. I am your host, John Venom. If you would like to review another episode of the Demon Inside, you can go to Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and any podcast platform. You can also find us on YouTube and on our website, thedemoninside.transistor.fm. And please don't forget to subscribe and rate us with 5 stars. A new episode will come out once a week.
Now topping our news, new disturbing details about a weekend murder. A mom allegedly killed her daughter.
Court papers show Juanita Gomez told authorities her daughter was possessed by the devil. Our News 9 crime tracker, Adriana Ivashinsky, joins us live now at the Oklahoma County Jail with the details. Adriana?
Right now, Juanita Gomez is being held here without bond at the Oklahoma County Jail. And our cameras were the only ones there when she was arraigned.
Watch TV in my cell.
49-year-old Juanita Gomez had a lot to say during her video arraignment before the judge. She stands accused of killing her 33-year-old daughter, Geneva Gomez, at her home on Saturday. But she spent her time before the judge complaining about the jail conditions.
They won't even give me toilet paper, Your Honor.
She also spoke up about not needing a public defender, claiming she already had a private lawyer.
Yes, sir. He believes in God like me. Yes, he's the best in town.
Over at the Gomez home near Northwest 15th and McKinley, friends and family have left behind candles, flowers, and rosaries to honor the life and tragic death of Geneva. Neighbors tell us the mother and daughter seem to have a good relationship. But court documents just released this afternoon revealed the horror officers encountered when they arrived to the home on Saturday afternoon. They state police found Geneva lying in the home with a large crucifix upon her chest and that she had severe trauma around her head and face. The affidavit states Juanita told investigators her daughter was possessed by the devil and that she admitted to punching her daughter repeatedly and forced a crucifix and religious medallion down her throat. The court papers also state Juanita had very swollen hands and that she told investigators those bruises were from her daughter fighting her attempts to rid Satan from her daughter's body. Now Juanita remains locked up in jail while her family deals with the devastating aftermath.
Thank you very much. Namaste. You believe in God, I do.
And these court papers go on to state that Juanita saw her daughter die right in front of her and then placed her body in the shape of a cross. We're live in downtown Oklahoma City. Adriana Ivashinsky.
Hello, my Demon Insiders, and welcome back to the Demon Inside. I'm your host, John Venom, and today we are going to be talking about the Demon Inside, Juanita Martinez Gomez. So this happened in August of 2016, and it started actually August the 25th. And what happened was Juanita Gomez kills her daughter, Geneva. And I know I usually don't say the names of people, but if I don't, this is going to get very confusing. So, according to the boyfriend and the affidavit that I found, now what I found is, and this is the original, in the Court of Criminal Appeals of the state of Oklahoma, it was filed on April 18th of 2019, and these are the facts. And I'm going to read them to you as is, and I'm going to try to do it without having all the mumbo jumbo of law written words. So, on August of 2016, Geneva's boyfriend Juan testified that Geneva lived with him and his family until a few days before the homicide. On August 25th, Geneva and her mom, Juanita, came to his home to collect Geneva's belongings. Now, Juan said that Juanita angrily accused him of taking some personal property of hers Other than that, he did not know what prompted Geneva to move out. Now, according to Juan, the boyfriend, Juanita called him the devil and accused, listen to this, and accused Geneva of being like possessed or something. Now, before they left, Geneva assured her boyfriend that everything would be all right once Juanita calmed down, which is her mom. So, in the next 2 days, Juan conversated with Geneva over text and over social media for the next few hours. And then all of a sudden, it was done. She stopped communicating. So on the afternoon of August the 27th, he had a friend of his, which is Juan, drive him to Juanita's home. Now, the friend waited in the car while Juan knocked on the front door. Juanita opened the door, grabbed him by the collar, yanked him inside. Juan said he asked, "Where is Geneva?" And Juanita motioned to an adjacent room. Juan saw his girlfriend's lifeless body lying on the floor. But because her face and head were so severely swollen, he hardly recognized her. When Juan asked Juanita why she didn't summon help for Geneva, she mumbled, "The money and the devil," and stuff like that. When Juan started to leave, Juanita locked the front door and tried to block his exit. Juan pushed Juanita out of the way. Juanita tried to restrain him by putting him in a headlock. Eventually, Juan wrestled himself from Juanita's grip and ran back to his friend's car, locking the passenger side door. Juanita walked to the car, tapped on his window, and said something about Geneva being possessed and needing help. Both Juan and his friend noticed that Juanita's hands appeared swollen and that she had blisters on her fingers. Jackson himself, which is Juan's friend, went inside to check on Geneva's welfare. When he saw her body, he telephoned for help. As they waited for the police and the ambulance to arrive, Juanita paced around, repeating that Geneva was possessed and needed help. Now, Juan says that Juanita and Geneva had a business together, that they were doing massages, and their relationship was a good relationship. He doesn't understand why all of a sudden she wanted to move back home. He said they weren't having any problems or anything was going on, but he was thinking maybe that Geneva was starting to see signs of something happening to her mom that maybe she needed to help her with. Now, at this time, when the police came, they arrested Juanita. And I'm going to explain what happened to her body. So please be aware that this is going to be a little violent. Geneva died of multiple blunt force trauma to the head. Some, but not all, of her wounds appeared to have been inflicted with an inanimate object. Patches of her hair had been pulled out. Her bruises, contusions, and other injuries suggested she had been beaten repeatedly and possibly choked. After her death, Geneva's body had been laid out in the form of a cross on the floor. A large crucifix had been placed on her chest. Several small crucifix and a rosary had been forced into her throat. Although the medical examiner was confident that they were placed there after death, while Gomez, which is Juanita or Genevieve, wounds suggested a bloody struggle, the interior of Juanita's home was remarkably clean. Crime scene detectives found evidence that she had scrupulously attempted to clean Gomez's blood and hair from the walls and floors. The medical examiner was able to determine that Gomez had been dead for an appreciable amount of time before Juan arrived. Now, when the police did arrest her, she said that her daughter was possessed and that she was trying to get the demon out of her. And when they said that she had, her fists were covered in blisters and they were swollen, she says because she was beating the face of her daughter who was possessed, and she was trying to get the demons out of her. Now, we've heard this before with the Miguel Gonzalez Rosales case. Now, if you remember that was a few episodes back where Miguel went into his neighbor's house and killed her, put her body in the form of a cross, put salt around the body, and then put crosses around the body. For me, this is a demonic thing because it sounds familiar to this story of Miguel Gonzalez Rosales. Now, the prosecuting attorney said that she had done this after she was dead, which means, according to them, that she had killed her daughter out of anger, and this was kind of a way to make herself look crazy. She was, when she was in jail, she took some mental tests and things like that, and she scored very low on a lot of the things, and even so low that even somebody that was faking would have done better. So they know that she was faking when she took these tests because they were going to try to plead the insanity case. But here's my thing. If she was, let's just say, possessed, and this demon took the test, how do we know that didn't happen? Now, here's the other thing. I don't think she was possessed fully. I think she was infested, which means she thought that her daughter was possessed, and she thought that she needed to save her daughter from an eternal burning in hell, and that she was going to do this for her daughter. When she was in court, she had no signs of empathy, sympathy, nothing for her daughter. She felt like she did what she had to do, and that was it. As a matter of fact, when she started to come up to trial, she had other complaints. She was complaining that her cell didn't have toilet paper, or that they weren't treating her right, or she had all these complaints. And then when she did come up to the court and the court asked her if she had an attorney, she said, "I have an attorney that believes in God like me." We've heard these rantings before, and it's not very common. Think about this. If you were going to kill somebody, let's say you and, God forbid, you and somebody got into a fight and you accidentally killed them, or you killed them intentionally. If you accidentally killed somebody, I would hope that you would call the police, call an ambulance, tell them, hey, you know, we got into this fight and it got out of hand. And if you kill somebody intentionally, you would think that, you know, you would want to try to hide the evidence, which would be the body. Yes, she cleaned up on the walls and things like that, but she left her daughter's body in a cross shape. She stuck a rosary down her throat and left a religious medallion in her mouth. Why would somebody do that, knowing that eventually she's going to get caught? And she must have stayed, because I'm thinking on the 26th was the day that she killed her daughter, and by the 27th was when her daughter's boyfriend found the body, and they called police. So she stayed with her daughter's dead body in the house for a day at least, and have no empathy, no sympathy, no nothing. Sometimes these people feel like they have no other option, and that these are not their loved ones anymore. This is somebody that is a demon, and their kid is gone. Is she psychotic? Is she mentally ill? Is she a killer? She has never had anything in the past to suggest any type of violence. Her and her daughter worked together. Her and her daughter lived together. She was moving back in with her mom. I mean, this wasn't like she was moving out and her mom was like, no, you can't leave me. This was, I'm coming home to you, and then this happens. Now, Geneva put up a struggle, put up a fight. It's obvious. But she was just too little, I guess, for her mother, who had the strength to do all this to her. Now, like I said, I did backgrounds and I couldn't really find anything. But what I did find, and it was kind of surprising to me because I've never had this, and it's so weird, guys. I took a picture because I started looking through different files, and I found a probable cause affidavit that has Juanita's information here. You guys are going to get a kick out of this. So, her date of birth is November 6, 1966. If you look at this paper, it says DOB 11666. I kid you not. Could this be a demon that has jumped from one to another? Yeah, could. Could this have been paranoid schizophrenia? Could this have been a sickness that she had? Yes. You heard her interview, the way she was talking in court. I wish there was more that I could play for you, but a lot of these cases just disappear in the background of society because nobody wants to hear about this. Nobody wants to acknowledge that this is happening. The only ones that acknowledge that this is happening is us, guys. There's been a few that we've heard stories just like this one. How many more times are we going to have to go through this before we believe that there's something evil out there? Thanks for listening, guys. I'll talk to y'all next week. Have a good one. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe to the Demon Inside podcast on any podcast platform. A new episode of the Demon Inside will be released every week. Let us know what you think of the episode on any of our social media platforms. If you have any questions or comments, go to the Demon Inside Podcast at gmail.com or click at the link below. We would love to hear from you. And to become a Demon Insider, go to the demoninsidepodcast.transistor.fm. We thank you for listening and hope you will join us next week for a new Demon Inside podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please tell your friends. I am John Venom, and I'll see you next time, if I don't get possessed. The Demon Inside was created and written by James Porter. It is a production of Venomous Entertainment. Background music is by Lucas King. And the title song, The Demon Inside, was produced by Rice Fulber. Music and lyrics by Peter Shelley. And performed by Conjure One. All the content on this podcast is strictly the opinion of the content creator and not the organization, its affiliates, or employees.